But his cap had been shaken off, and the outlaws saw with horror Mrs. Maloney pick it up, carry it up to her door, and fling it down upon the bench outside. The outlaws held a hasty meeting in the middle of the road. "We've got to get it back," said Ginger. "It's William's cap, so I vote William goes in and gets it back." "Oh, yes, you feel like going back," said William bitterly. "If she'd shook everything loose in your head, you don't know what it feels like." Ginger evolved a masterly plan. He found a long stick, and while William, Douglas, and Henry drew the enemy down to the gate by short and daring excursions into the garden, Ginger leapt over the hedge by the side of the cottage and fished up William's cap with his stick. The outlaws then marched off, yelling triumphantly, carrying William's cap proudly upon the end of the stick, while its late captor gibbered at them over the gate in inarticulate rage. It was a half-holiday, and after, at his mother's earnest request, removing as much ink from his face and hands as could be removed by that hurried process known to William as washing, he came down to lunch, murmuring, "Friends, Rome, and countrymen, lend me some ears. I come to, the evil and the good men do live into 'em. The good has often entered into bones." "Now, William, do stop talking nonsense and eat your lunch," said Mrs. Brown. "Yeah, well, that's just what I think," said William. "And yet he's got statues put up to him, no end of farce." After a hearty meal, William set out to join his companions. They'd arranged to meet at the corner of the road that led to Ginger's house. William was early. There was nothing to be seen at the corner but a car. And in the car were a weeping young woman and a sleeping old man. William stood and gaped. The young woman was astonishingly beautiful, and William, in spite of his professed scorn of the feminine sex, was very susceptible to beauty. He blinked and coughed. The young woman turned sapphire blue swimming eyes to him and gulped. "Say, kid," she said, with an American twang that completed the enslavement of William. "Say, kid, what's the name of this little old town?" William was too much confused to reply for a moment. During that moment, fresh tears welled up into the blue eyes. "I feel just like nothing," said the lady. "I've lost the way, and I've lost the map, and I don't know where I am, and Pop's gone to sleep, and I don't know where I've got to." Where did you want to get to?" asked William. "Stratford," said the lady. "Stratford on Avon, that Shakespeare guy's place. If we don't do it today, we'll never do it. We've not got one single other day left, and it'll kill me not to do it. Everyone I know's done it, and to go back home and say, 'I've not seen Stratford,' well, I'd never hold up my head again. Never. And She ended in a sob that reduced William's already melting heart to complete liquefaction. "It's all right," he said consolingly. He didn't mean anything in particular. It was only a vague expression of sympathy and comfort, but the lady looked at him, her eyes suddenly alight with hope. You mean that this is Stratford?" "Oh, how dandy. Do you really mean that?" Stronger and older characters than William would have decided to mean that when fixed by those pleading, hopeful blue eyes. "Yes," said William after a moment's silence, which represented a short, victorious struggle with a never very recalcitrant conscience. "Yes, this is Stratford, all right." The lady leapt in her seat. Gone were all traces of tears. "Say, kid, I just adore you. Now, I've got to see it all just as quick as I can. Never mind Pop, he can go on sleeping. He hates looking at things anyway. He goes to sleep on purpose." She opened the door and jumped down. "Now, the first thing I want to see is Anne Hathaway's cottage. Can you direct me to that, little boy? Or say, are you doing anything particular this afternoon?" "No," said William, deciding that Ginger, Henry, and Douglas couldn't get on very well without him. "Well, now, would you be a real cherub and personally conduct me?" "Yes, I would," said William eagerly. He did not repent his rash statement as to the precise locality of Stratford-on-Avon. He almost believed it. If this vision wished it to be Stratford, it was Stratford. They set off down the road together. "Is it far?" asked the fair American. William began to realize he'd embarked upon an adventure that would require careful handling. He looked up and down the road. "Whose cottage did you say?" he said at last. "Anne Hathaway's." "Oh, no, it's not far now," said William, hoping for the best. The lady became confidential. She told him that her name was Miss Burford, Sadie Burford, and she just loved this little old country. But Stratford was the thing she longed most passionately to see. And this was the happiest day of her life. And wasn't it just the cutest little place? And she'd be grateful to him all her life. She would, sure. William enjoyed walking with her. He enjoyed watching her astounding beauty. He enjoyed her twang. He was already practicing it silently in his mind. They turned the bend in the road, and there in front of them was Mrs. Maloney's cottage. Miss Burford gave a little scream of ecstasy. "Oh, thatched," she said. "This must be Anne Hathaway's cottage." "Yes, this is it." William, as an artist, occasionally overreached himself. He made the mistake of not leaving well alone. He said carelessly, "And there's Anne Hathaway looking out of the window." "Doesn't Anne Hathaway still live here?" "Well, I thought that was what you said." "Oh, but I meant the one that lived hundreds of years ago." "Oh, she'll be dead by now." He wished the radiant vision to have everything she wanted. If she wanted and whatever it was, she should have it. "There's another one living here now." "Oh, how dandy," said Miss Burford. "A descendant, I suppose." "Oh, yes," said William. "Oh, yes, that's what she is." "Well, I've got to hurry. Will you knock or shall I? Perhaps you know her?" "Oh, yes. I know her, all right." He edged away as he spoke, his eyes fixed fearfully upon the cottage door. You don't want to go right in, do you?" "I sure do." "No, I wouldn't if I was you. No, I wouldn't go in. She's awful bad-tempered, Mrs. Maloney is. I mean, Anne, whatever you said is." "But I must go in. People do, I know." "Better not. She's deaf, too." "But I can shout." "No, that's no use. She can't hear shouting. And she's mad, too. She's sort of forgotten her name. She sort of thinks she's someone else, so it's no use going in, what with her being deaf and mad. It's not really safe. And it's not anything like as nice inside as it is outside." "But I've known people who've gone inside. I've known them personally. It must be possible. It can be very dangerous." She advanced boldly and knocked at the door. The door opened a few inches, and Mrs. Maloney's wrinkled face appeared round it. At the sight of William, it became distorted with rage. "Ah!" she shrieked. "You little pest, you!" William was on the point of turning to flee and leaving this strange situation to disentangle itself as best it could, when he saw Miss Burford slip something into Mrs. Maloney's hand, at which Mrs. Maloney's wrath simmered down into a sullen distrust. "Could I," said Miss Burford with disarming sweetness, "could I just look at your historical cottage, Miss Hathaway?" "Hysterical yourself," snapped the owner. "And my name's Mrs. Maloney, I'll have you to know." Miss Burford turned to William with a sad smile. "Poor woman," she whispered. Then she entered the kitchen. Mrs. Maloney, holding a 10-shilling note with both hands, watched her guest suspiciously. William's sole thought was to keep near to the door in view of possible developments. Miss Burford looked round at the old-fashioned cottage, the old dresser and the flagged floor with a sigh of rapture. "Oh, how lovely. How perfect." Then she looked rather puzzled. "I've seen photographs of it. I've only a vague kind of idea of it, but I certainly thought there were more things in it." In his capacity of stage manager, William spoke up with desperate boldness. There was a lot more things, but they had to take him away when she got like this.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.